good day to you students. And we're on lesson 8.2, powers and products, page 381 and 382. And we're only going to do a few of the guided examples. So we're on page 381. We'll start with number 6. So on number 6 here, we have here 3 to the 5th raised to the 2nd power. 3 to the 5th raised to the 2nd power. Now here you have just a little different than before. You notice you got the parentheses, and the other one was, no parentheses. So when you raise a power, so when you raise an exponent to a power, you simply multiply the power. So that's equal to 3 to the 5th times 2, which is equal to 3 to the 10th power. Let's do number 7. Number 7 says 10 to the 3rd raised to the 2nd power. 10 to the 3rd, parentheses, raised to the 2nd power. And that's equal to 10 to the 3 times 2, which is equal to 10 to the 6th. And then we're going to skip down to number 10. So simplify each expression by using the definition of exponents. So if you want to simplify, it says AB raised to the A times B raised to the 8th power. If you want to simplify that, you can just simply say, well, that's A to the 8th, right, times B to the 8th, all right? And that's simplified. Same way with number 11. A little more complicated there. We have x squared y to the 4th, x squared y to the 4th, and that's in parentheses, and we're going to raise both of those to the 3rd power. So we simply multiply the 2 times the 3, so it's going to equal x to the 2 times the 3, and then that will be multiplied times y to the 4 times 3, which is equal to x to the 6th, y to the 12th. All right, let's go on. Let's look at, we'll go down to number 14. Verify the power of a product by finding the value of each expression in 2 different ways. So this is just trying to illustrate to you that if we say 5 times 5 raised to the 3rd power, 5 times 5 raised to the 3rd power can be solved 2 ways. We can say, 5 times 5 is 25 raised to the 3rd power. And that is equal to, so we get 25 raised to the 3rd power. 25 raised to the 3rd power equals 15,625. And do you get the same answer if you go 5 to the 3rd times 5 to the 3rd, a simplified way? Well, that's equal to, 125 times 125, or 5 to the 6th, or 5 to the 9th, all right? So let's see what we get. So you can say 5 to the 3rd is 125 times 125. 125 times 125 is equal to 15,625. So again, either way you can do it, and that's your choice how you do it. I kind of prefer just saying, 25 to the 3rd power and go from left to right. So let's do 15. We have 3 times 10 to the 7th power. 15. 3 times 10 to the 7th power. So that's equal to 3 times 10 is, 30 raised to the 7th power. 30 raised to the 7th power is equal to, I didn't get him. 30 raised to the 7th power. Oops, go back one. 7th power is equal to, it's giving me 2.187 times 10 to the 10th. I don't know if I can get 2.1, well, let's just do this in our head. So we're going to get 30, let's do what, 3 times 30, 3 raised to the 7th power. We should have 2187. 2187, and then we're going to add a bunch of zeros, right? So what do we got? 7 zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. All right, I should have had my calculator going there. But again, or 2.17, if you multiply it times raised to the 7th power as 2.17 times 10 to the 10th. 0.187 times 10 to the 10th. So we get 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 0. All right. So, kind of interesting how that works out. You can set your calculator to give you all the zeros, or it does in scientific notation. Let's look at simplify. Now, let's go to simplify number 18. 18, here we have x to the second y to the third, x to the second y to the third, raised to the 5th power. Raised to the 5th power, that's going to be x, 2 times 5 is 10, x to the 10th, y, 3 times 5 is 15. Alright, and let's do 19. 19 says a to the 4th, b to the 4th, a to the 4th, b to the 4th, c to the 4th, c to the 4th, all raised to the 11th power. And 4 times 11 is going to be 44, so it just equals a to the 44th, b to the 44th, c to the 44th. And the last thing we got to review is the powers of -1. Even powers of -1 are equal to 1. And odd powers of -1 are equal to -1. So if we have, -1 to the 3rd power, that's going to be -1. And if we have -1 to the 6th power, this is odd, even, it's equal to 1. All right, well, how does that apply? Well, if you look at 22, 22 says -6 raised to the 3rd power. And don't forget, there's a -1 in there. So what we get is you just go 6 raised to the 3rd power. So 6 raised to the 3rd power is equal to 216. And since this is odd, the 3 is odd, then it'll be a -2. Negative 216. And then we have 23, -b raised to the 10th power. -b raised to the 10th power. Now we have even. So is that going to be the answer? Is it going to be -b or +b? That's the only two possibilities. And since this is even, that is going to be equal to the positive value of b. So you can call Simple Simons. You can call Dr. Oz. Or don't forget, you can always call your teacher. Oh yeah. Yeah. Was that really necessary? I thought it so.